Greetings from the land of the living, and welcome to another opportunity to gain some wisdom. Yeah! Alright, it's October 2019. Let's go ahead and read some Proverbs. Proverbs 20 starts. Wine produces mockers. Alcohol leads to brawls. Those led astray by drink cannot be wise. The king's fury is like a lion's roar. To rouse his anger is to risk your life. Avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Only fools insist on quarreling. Those too lazy to plow in the right season will have no food at the harvest. Though good advice lies deep within the heart, a person with understanding will draw it out. Many will say they are loyal friends, but who can find one who is truly reliable? The godly walk with integrity. Blessed are their children who follow them. When a king sits in judgment, he weighs all the evidence, distinguishing the bad from the good. Who can say, I have cleansed my heart? I am pure and free from sin. False weights and unequal measures. The Lord detests double standards of every kind. Even children are known by the way they act, whether their conduct is pure or whether it is right. Ears to hear and eyes to see. Both are gifts from the Lord. If you love sleep, you will end in poverty. Keep your eyes open, and there will be plenty to eat. The buyer haggles over the price, saying, it's worthless, then brags about getting a bargain. Wise words are more valuable than much gold and many rubies. Get security from someone who guarantees a stranger's debt. Get a deposit if he does it for foreigners. Stolen bread tastes sweet, but it turns to gravel in the mouth. Plans succeed through good counsel. Don't go to war without wise advice. A gossip goes around telling secrets, so don't hang around with chatterers. If you insult your father or mother, your light will be snuffed out in total darkness. An inheritance obtained too early in life is not a blessing in the end. Don't say, I will get even for this wrong. Wait for the Lord to handle the matter. The Lord detests double standards. He is not pleased by dishonest scales. The Lord directs our steps. So why try to understand everything along the way? Don't trap yourself by making a rash promise to God, and only later counting the cost. A wise king scatters the wicked like wheat, then runs his threshing wheel over them. The Lord's light penetrates the human spirit, exposing every hidden motive. Unfailing love and faithfulness protects the king. His throne is made secure through love. The glory of the young is their strength. The gray hair of experience is the splendor of the old. Physical punishment cleanses away evil. Such discipline purifies the heart. Verse 3. Avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Only fools insist on quarreling. Now, this is not speaking about running away, walking away from a fight. At least, to my understanding, it's letting us know stand your ground, yet not in a way that is a quarrel, not in a way that is bickering and fighting. Just try to find a common ground with that enemy at the moment. Find a way to gain peace through conversation, through understanding, but not through a fight. Verse 4. Those too lazy to plow in the right season will have no food at the harvest. It just makes sense, right? If you don't sow the seed, if you don't plant anything, what will you be able to harvest when it's that time? It takes time for the seed to grow. It takes time for things to develop in the spirit. So be diligent and work day by day, one step at a time. Verse 5 speaks to me about who you talk to. Why? Hold on. Though good advice lies deep within the heart, a person with understanding will draw it out. So, if you're speaking to somebody that truly understands you, or that truly wants to, your side of the conversation will be able to flow well as well. And I think that's enough said. Verse 7. The godly walk with integrity. Blessed are their children who follow them. 2 points to this. First, if you want to be blessed, follow somebody that's doing their best to be godly. Find someone that you can test and poke and pry, but be careful with that. Because how do you know if it's good if you don't test it? But find somebody that you see that's godly and try to follow their example. Obviously, follow Christ. He's the biggest example. And that's how you'll be blessed. Trying to be a follower of a godly person. Trying to be godly yourself. The second point is the godly walk with integrity. Why? Because we're always seen by God, right? So if you want to please God, you're going to walk in integrity. You don't have to please anybody else, nobody else in this world except for God. And that will provide you with integrity. Verse 9, very important to take into consideration. With everybody that you meet, with everybody that you want to share with. Nobody's perfect. 9 says, who can say, I have cleansed my heart, I am pure and free from sin? Nobody alive today can say that. Not honestly anyways. So, if that's nobody, that includes me, that includes you, that includes your neighbor. So just because somebody does something that pisses you off or isn't to your liking, try to forgive them. Try to have some sort of understanding, knowing that nobody's perfect and that later on, you're definitely going to need somebody to forgive you. So treat others how you would like to be treated. And if you think it's hard to decide who to follow, who's good, who's bad, 11 and 13 are good ways of having the discernment for that. 11 says, even children are known by the way they act, whether their conduct is pure and whether it is right. So, take people on their actions. Actions speak louder than words, they say, right? Observe those. And then 13 speaks of, if you love sleep, you will end in poverty. Keep your eyes open, and there will be plenty to eat. So have courage. Keep your eyes open. Don't keep your head down. Know that you have the authority given to us by Christ, given to us by God. We dominate this world, and we have to make sure that love spreads through it. Keep your eyes open, and you'll see who's good and who's bad. Now, once you find those people, try to keep them in your counsel. Try to put into practice verse 18 that says, plans succeed through good counsel. Don't go to war without wise advice. And we are at war, a war of principalities, of moral standards. So much has been lost in that respect. To each their own, of course, but many of us know what's good, what's bad, and if it's not good for us, how could it be good for somebody else? When you're being cheated out of something, why would you cheat somebody else out of the same thing or something else? So please, when you find that good advice, keep them in your counsel. Stay together. There's strength in numbers. There's strength in that communion, in that congregation. So staying in that council, in that congregation, sometimes slows us down, and that's a good thing. Because 21 says, an inheritance obtained too early in life is not a blessing in the end. Because we're not ready. We're not ready for it. We may squander it. We may misuse it. And that's why keeping good counsel, speaking to others, and taking advice is exactly what's going to help us out in the end. Because we'll have so many different perspectives that we'll have to evaluate it. And then when the inheritance comes, we'll have the wisdom to know how to use it. 22 and 23 compound on this and definitely go with each other. 22. Don't say, I will get even for this wrong. Wait for the Lord to handle the matter. 23. The Lord detests double standards. He is not pleased with dishonest scales. Treat others like you would like to be treated. If you get even with people, don't expect them to get even with you. And that's just a vicious circle of hate. Let's break it through love. Let's let the Lord handle justice. And in this train of thought, just try and trust. Not anybody but God, Jesus Christ. Because 24 also recommends that the Lord directs our steps. So why try to understand everything along the way? It'll make sense later on. It'll click. But the evidence is in the experience. And you have to take that leap of faith for the magic to happen. Miracles. And if there was a theme for this proverb, it's treat others like you would like to be treated. Verse 28 says it pretty clearly. Unfailing love and faithfulness protects the king. His throne is made secure through love. Definitely, if you do your best to love your friends, your neighbors, your family, that love that you're expressing to them, that energy, is going to come right back to you in times of need and in times of just pure pleasure. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful adventure. And I definitely invite you to trust in Jesus, trust in God, invite them into your life. Have the Holy Spirit and be a part of that as well. And many blessings to you guys.